Um, I would like to do a short guided meditation with you. I mean, feel free to enjoy this artwork, but we will come back to it with refreshed senses after this meditation. And I invite you to get comfortable in your chair. Really put your weight into the pillow. Put your both feet on the ground to give yourself a little bit of stability. Make a connection with the ground. It supports you. It's very nice to feel supported. You can close your eyes if you want to. And tune into your body. Let's do like a quick body scan from the bottom to the top. So from your feet, the bottom of your feet, through your ankles, through your legs, your knees, your back, and to the other side of that, your belly, your shoulders, your arms. Try to feel the weight of your arms, the hands in your lap. Try to find all the features in your face, your jaw, your closed eyes. Try to make them heavy. Your nose, there's air coming through your nose, in and out. This breathing experience is really what grounds us to this life. It gives rhythm to our experience, but it also gives us oxygen. Now bring your attention outward. There are sounds in this room that are not intentional sounds. They are just subtle background noises that we can notice. Some of them are durational, they are like continuous. Enjoy those sounds because it's not every day that we get to pay attention to sound. Very different than looking. We tend to think that looking is instantaneous. Much of our looking is glancing rather than connecting. I would like to invite you in just one moment to open your eyes and try to make your looking durational like you did with the listening. And see if with this sound, this room tone that we just explored, we can stay with this picture a little bit longer than we normally would, if that works for you. Some people are very acoustically attuned and they might get distracted by the sound. And they start noticing all these interesting variations and they get distracted from the image. So whatever works for you. What matters is that we stay connected to the artwork longer, that we don't just glance at it, but really get involved with all the transitions. We had someone scout out this artwork for us, and you described it to us as rhythmical, musical, which is interesting, right? What do you see that makes you say, this artwork is rhythmical?
It's like 3 intervals, like the figures are kind of repeating themselves, but in a slightly different way.
So you're noticing 3 intervals, a repetition, kind of the same, but kind of different. What more can we find? We don't have to talk about sound necessarily. I'm just using the sound to keep us here. So let's have a discussion about this artwork. What is going on in this picture? Another way to make the looking durational is to bring in sense. If sound doesn't really work for you because you're maybe very, very acoustically sensitive and you might get distracted by the sound, you could try texture. Could I borrow your necklace? What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna invite you to look at this picture while you feel every single bead in your necklace. It's your necklace, so you get to do it. So you know how like they used to with the rosary do prayers and it's this, every bead is a moment of attention. You're extending your attention. There's so many beads, so take your time. All right, so if we all had a necklace, we could do the same thing. But it can be any kind of sensory experience, really. I could give you tissue and I would ask you to tear it up in 1,000 pieces. Your hands are busy, and for the duration of this task, we keep looking. Who loves plants? Could you do me a favor and pick off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 basil leaves for us? The idea is that we bring in smell and taste and color into the experience. She also has an activity. The activity is durational. She's gonna provide us all with 1 basil leaf. That's her job. But while she's doing that, she's occasionally glancing at this delicious green color over there. Yes, and can you already smell it? So these are all ways to connect to vision through your other senses. Now, what is going on in this picture?
There are so many different ideas running through my mind at the moment. I'm starting to see the music, but also the fields, like the springtime, especially with these green and yellow circular elements. So it's like all at once, so it's very difficult
To pin one?
pinpoint exact idea behind the whole painting.
What I hear you saying is that it has something like organic, but you're also mentioning the colors and the bright colors that remind you of spring and music. Music keeps coming back in the story. There's something very rhythmical and musical about this picture. Thank you so much for those comments. Would you care to comment anything at all that you noticed while sitting here?
Yeah, for me it's more about nature and even the sound. It's like raindrops falling, or
You're connecting to the sound in the background?
Yes, forest and trees, these colors, yeah.
So you're making a link between the sound of the backdrops and the shapes of these could be drops, but mostly a forest atmosphere because of the colors. Delicious, right? These colors? Thank you. What more can we find?
Definitely, it's very musical, and it's interesting because it's both very static, like buildings almost, but at the same time the brush strokes are very alive and makes it move. It's almost moving.
So you're kind of zooming out and zooming in, and from a distance they look like buildings, and I'm not sure if you're talking about the panels, like apartment blocks,
panels and the forms
but also inside. These could be buildings.
Constricted in a way, but also very much alive.
Constricted, you mean like the contours, they're very separated from one another, and at the same time very vibrant and almost fluid inside those.
Because of the brush strokes, it's
the brush stroke, and it's very nice to zoom in if you feel like coming closer to really get close to those brush strokes. Feel free to move anytime you want. Thank you. What more can we find?
For me, it's like a first sip of martini in New York, jazz playing in the background, because I see olives, I see windows.
These could be olives?
No, those are windows actually.
Those are windows? Oh, these are the olives?
Olives, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's warm and you want to go dancing,
Uh-huh.
sort of like that.
So you have a whole story in your head,
Yeah.
like you're going for a martini somewhere in New York, you said?
Yeah.
And there's gonna be music later and
Jazz
dancing.
music.
And these might be windows.
Yeah.
What do you see that makes you say they might be windows?
The little shapes, you know, like you
Oh.
draw the windows.
Tiny windows.
Yeah,
Each
yeah,
one
yeah.
of those is a window. Oh, millions
And
of
behind
eyes.
those windows, there's a story.
And
Million
each,
stories.
Each one of those has a story behind it. So you're making a connection to humans, a city, the presence of human activity, and that's a very interesting decision, because we're looking at an abstract artwork, but you want humans there, right? And that's a very natural instinct, because we are humans, we want to connect to humans, and then we want to have stories with them, right? So that's a very beautiful instinct that helps you connect to this artwork. Thank you so much for those reviving comments. It's interesting to hear other people's opinion, because suddenly our perspective widens. We start to see more. I'm turning to the basil factory. What is going on in this picture, you being in charge of smell and taste?
It was very nice to have connection between sound and visualization of it. In addition, I have basil and the smell of basil, wonderful smell. The green color of the picture became very, very alive, and I can feel this color if I am touching it. Because of the smell, this green color became the first in this.
It jumps out at you.
It jumps, and it became like I'm touching it. It is soft. It is very nice feeling to like being in I don't know, samanose. in the moss. So thank you.